Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of Friday Feels. That's what I ended up naming it. I couldn't think of anything else. I wanted to have an alliteration, but I didn't know how else to get the fact that we talk about mental illness into it with having the Friday in the name because it comes out every Friday. But I guess it works for now. Maybe I'll change it eventually, but it's not bad. Sorry if you can hear the fan. It's very hot in my house. It's 80 degrees right now because our insulation is trash. So, but when I move, it should be better and it shouldn't ever be a fan in the background. Um, but thank you for coming back to this episode. If you watched the first one, because I know that was kind of all over the place, and I'm still trying to figure everything out. So it really means a lot that you came back because this series, I guess it is, this whatever you call it, podcast or whatever. This is kind of the whole point of me having this channel. So this one means a lot to me. Plus, it helps me so much to talk about things and get things off my chest. But I'm also really hoping this helps people, and it really means a lot if this series can do well and grow and actually get out there to help people and make a difference, because that's the whole point of what I'm trying to do here. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you're not already. I do other things on the channel, but I try to steer a lot of it towards mental health. So I do try to discuss mental health and everything I do. Like, I have Ratchet and Clank going on, and through the episodes I do talk about stuff that has to do with mental health and my Omega Ruby Nuzlocke series. Sorry, I can see a hair in my eye. But in the Omega Ruby Nuzlocke series, I'm donating money to mental health charity whenever I lose a Pokemon or something. So I try to have everything directed towards that. But so if you do want to help support stuff with mental health, make sure you subscribe to the channel, please. Um, I do want to get these episodes a little bit longer, probably up to 30 minutes. This one's probably not going to be as long because I do have something I want to talk about, but I don't know how to talk about it. I don't know how to put it into words. I don't know if I'm fully going to get into everything because while I'm on camera, I kind of forget a lot of the things that I wanted to talk about. But I'm going to try. I guess I wanted to start with the fact that a couple of days ago, it was 2 days ago, at night I had it was like a kind of a panic attack. I couldn't sleep or anything. Every time I fell asleep, my heart was racing so much I'd wake up not even a minute later. I fell asleep a few times, but I couldn't sleep because my heart was racing so much. And then I got very paranoid. Like, I kept looking outside and kept worrying about stuff, which made my stress even higher, which I could feel my heart racing in my chest even more. And I don't know what I was paranoid about, but it just causes, like, when I go through my panic attacks, sometimes it just causes stuff like that. And a few weeks ago I went through it as well, and I just started walking down the street and it was like cold outside, no shoes on. I was just trying to get away from my house for some reason. Not like I didn't know what I was doing trying to get away from my house. I knew, but I was like paranoid, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go away for a little bit, calm down and whatever. But so yeah, and then yesterday my anxiety was bad all day. Luckily, I hung out with my friend last night, and every time I hang out with him, um, it helps my anxiety a lot. So that went away, and I'm doing better now. I have anxiety when I'm doing this. Like, I keep looking down at my face instead of looking at the camera because I feel like it's just hard to look straight at the lens the whole time. But I'm gonna keep having anxiety about the fact that I keep looking down at my face instead of looking up at this. Um, yeah. I wanted to it just. I guess I wanted to get into like having something that helps with your anxiety, and it's like um I don't know. It's kind of like I don't. It feels like I feel kind of bad about it. It's like I don't want to feel like I don't want the person to think, like, somebody to think like, oh, I'm only using you because you help with my anxiety or whatever. It's like it feels kind of selfish, even though I know it's not, because it's like the fact that the person helps with your anxiety should mean enough. Like, that should mean a lot to somebody that they help with your anxiety. But it's like the way my anxiety works, I'm sure a lot of y'all's anxiety works the same way. It's like even when you're kind of doing something right, I guess, or doing something nice, you can kind of find a way to get anxiety about it. It's like I do nice things for people because them being happy makes me happy. So I feel kind of selfish about it, and then I'm like, oh, this person's gonna realize that I'm just doing this because it, in the long run, makes me happy. But it's not really selfish because I don't think because just the fact that somebody else being happy makes you happy in itself is unselfish because you're kind of putting that like a I don't know. It's a weird thing because yeah, you doing stuff because in the long run it makes you happy, but still making the other person happy, making you happy. It's kind I don't know. It's all confusing. It's like, but I also know that I would do something. I have a lot of times. I'm trying to get better at it. I will do things that are detriment to myself to help other people to make them happy over my own happiness. So that in is I know is unselfish, but I also know it's very bad for me, and it's it's done a lot to me. Like I've taken a lot of like issues, like it's been bad on my anxiety and depression to do stuff for other people, like even though it could be bad for me. Um, and I know, and it makes it harder. Like sometimes I try to like one time I refused to do something for somebody because I knew that how it was bothering me. Like I didn't, like it was to help somebody, yeah, but it was every time I did it, I'd done it before, and every time I did it, it was taking a toll on me. So I decided one time to refuse, and then the person who asked got very upset with me and called me selfish and stuff, and it really hit me. Um, so it gets to the point like stuff like that. It makes it very hard for me to like I don't even know how I got on this topic. This isn't what I wanted to talk about, but it makes it very hard for me to like put myself first, which I have to do sometimes. Um, but I have gotten better at it. I would say I wouldn't say I've gotten better at putting myself first, but I have gotten better at taking care of myself lately, and it's because of somebody else. And it's like yeah, I want to take care of myself and love myself because of me, but I mean, if somebody else is in your life and they make you want to be a better person, better yourself, then I mean, it's not that it's a bad thing that that's what's causing me to better myself because I'm still trying to better myself. I'm still like if you suffer from anxiety and you'll know that it's hard to take care of yourself sometimes. Sometimes you just um don't clean up your room, like you're covered in mess and like I've always showered. Showering regularly has always been the thing, but I've had issues brushing my teeth like I should and stuff. It's like you just don't feel the the drive to really take care of yourself and do the things that you need to do. I've gone days without eating before just because like I didn't care and stuff. It's like, but so having somebody there to that leads you to do stuff like that, even though people are like, yeah, you should be in a place to where you can take care of yourself on your own. Having that there still isn't a bad thing. So it really helps. And I mean, there's a lot of things you can't get through stuff by yourself. So having somebody there is always good, and having somebody that helps with your anxiety is a good thing. It's not like, oh, I need this person. Yeah, you still need to do other things to help with your anxiety, like that's why I have this, or go, and you still need to go through your therapy and psychiatrists and everything. Get on medications if you need them, or if working out's what you do, or all those other things that people do to help with this stuff. It all goes together. It all accumulates together. It's all very important. So it's like y'all know, a year ago my cat passed away. About a year ago, it's a few months, but um he was always my crutch to help with my anxiety and depression. And it was just with him, it was if like knowing he loved me and everything it really helped, and having him there really helped. But it was kind of more temporary than I guess. But now it's less temporary. I don't know. It's weird to think about, but yeah, my anxiety was so bad for like the whole day, and I just wanted to like. It was weird, like it came out of nowhere. I was laying in bed at night watching TV, and then out of nowhere, I was just all of a sudden something happened. I wasn't thinking about anything in particular. I wasn't. Um, nothing in particular happened. I don't think. At least nothing I recognized happened, and then all of a sudden it just kind of snapped. And like I said, I couldn't sleep. I ended up going to bed at like 9 in the morning and sleeping until like 1:30 ish. But that whole time my heart was just racing too much. Every time I fell asleep, I could tell that what was waking me up was that my heart was racing, because I would wake back up and it was like pounding in my chest, and it was very bad. But it was just strange, and that's kind of how anxiety works. It kind of comes out of nowhere. Um, the first time, I went to get help, the first time I realized I had issues with anxiety is I was driving to class. When I was in the military, I was a linguist, so I had to go to language school yearly. And while I was in language school, one time I was driving, and while I was driving, something happened, I guess, because I blacked out. And I was sitting in class, and somebody asked me if, like, noticed that, like, something was off, and they asked me if I was okay. And I was like, I don't even really remember getting here. And that's when they finally started, I finally started getting help. And having got help then, that was 2015, I think. But I had been going through everything for probably at least over 10 years at least. At that point, that I had been going through stuff, and I just never realized that's what it was. I always thought like, oh, I'm just lazy, or oh, I can make myself pay attention. It's not that hard to like not zone out, which anxiety causes me to zone out a lot. Or it's not anxiety that my mind's racing all the time and worrying about these things. And that really opened up to me getting better, because it helped me start working on things and notice that something was wrong and doing stuff. I still don't go to the doctor like I should. You should get your therapy. You should go to your doctor. Every time I see them, like every once in a while I'll schedule something, but I go way longer without seeing them than I should. Um, and like I need to see my psychiatrist now, because I had issues with my medication previously, so I need some new medication. But so eventually I'll get that, and hopefully this helps push me to doing that. But yeah, it's like doing stuff to take care of yourself is very hard with anxiety. And opening up, I was leading to something. I don't remember what it was, but uh, but finally realizing what it was really helped, and I hope I can help other people realize that too. Another thing that I thought about with that was I was going to see my psychiatrist one time. It was a few weeks after this, and my NCO, he was like, "Where are you going?" I was like, "I'm going to see my psychiatrist." He was like, "Oh, you can just say you have an appointment." And I was just like, that's a big thing that I'm hoping this helps with as well. Is I was like, no, I want to say that, because somebody saying that's like, oh, you can hide it, you can say you're just going to a doctor's appointment, makes it seem like it's a bad thing to be going to the psychiatrist, which it's not. It's a good thing. You're getting the help you need. It's an illness. You wouldn't feel bad about going to the doctor because you have a cold. You wouldn't hide the fact like, oh, I have a cold, I'm going to the doctor. So why would you hide another illness and be like, oh, I'm going to an appointment? Because you don't. It's just another illness. It's not something to be ashamed about. It's something to be open about, and it helps a lot to be. That is very, like, some people might think I'm way too open about it, but because I'll talk to it about it to anybody, but it's kind of part of who I am, so I want to talk about it. Plus, it really helps to be open with it and discuss it with people. Plus, I'm hoping that discussing it with people easily, like I do, people can see like, oh, he talks about it, and people probably do judge me, but he seems to still be getting through and have friends and everything, most people don't judge him and everything. So I'm hoping to like help take the stigma off of it. So I'm hoping that's something else that can happen here. Hope that people can, because seeing some of these things, like even with famous people who go through stuff, and some of the stuff people say to them, or some of the stuff I see on Twitter when stuff comes up and about people that go through stuff, and it's like, how can you treat a person like that? It makes no sense to me. So I'm sure eventually if I grow enough, people start acting like that towards me. But I think just the fact of helping people, I hate that I keep looking down at the screen. just the fact of helping people um will help me not worry about that, and I know most people won't be that way, so I think I'll be able to get. I know my anxiety will bother me for a while because of it, because I have an issue where I need everybody to like me, like everybody. Like I'll be walking down the street and I I care about how people perceive me, I guess. Because I'll be walking down the street, somebody will drive past that'll never see me again, but I kind of care about how they perceive me. And yeah, I do want everybody to like me, even though I know that's not possible, and it bothers me when people don't. To a point that is like, I don't know. And then I feel like, I guess, because like part of me doesn't like certain things about myself, so I don't ever expect anybody else to like me. So I have a hard time like making friends and stuff, because it's like I don't know if somebody's gonna consider me a friend. So it's like, um, and I don't want to come out right. I was like, are we friends? So it, and that's something else that's very hard. It's like I don't even know if these people like me, but it's like I don't want to outright be like. I feel like it's kind of weird to just be like, hey, do you like me? Like, and but even though that like that might be how, because I'm bad at reading how people feel about me. Like I'm always, even with my some of my close friends, I get worried that they get upset about something that I'm doing, or that sorry, or that like I become too much, or that they're just being there because they're good people and see that I'm going through something, but they don't really care. Like there's certain friends that I know, but there's other ones that's just like I will always feel like I'm a burden or something. So it's always an issue with I don't know how to say it. So I never feel like I'm safe with anybody. Not safe as in talking or opening up. It's like I never feel like oh I never feel like I'm close enough to where I never feel like I'm so safe in a friendship or a relationship with somebody. Not a relationship, because I've never actually been in one, but I never feel like my friendship or my relationship with somebody is guaranteed. Like it's not solid enough to where I know that if I do something wrong, it won't mess it up. So I always worry about doing something wrong and messing things up, and it's like even with some of the people that are my best friends now, I go through this where it's like I'm worried I'm gonna be too boring and they're not gonna want to hang out with me anymore, or I'm worried I don't talk enough in this situation, even though after a year of knowing somebody, I can still have anxiety and not want to talk about stuff, like because I'm scared of what the person's gonna think or how they're gonna feel, and it's like, so I've never feel truly like I'm okay in a situation. And I think part of that comes with the fact that I have done things that have caused people that I considered best friends, people that I consider brothers, to stop being friends with me. And a lot of the things have to do that I do. I hate saying doo-doo. It just sounds weird. Not even just because it's doo-doo, but because it just sounds weird together. But I say but a lot too. But I've done things out of anxiety alone because I want people to like me, and I do things like I don't know how to have a conversation, so I'll just talk about what I know, and sometimes it's something I shouldn't be discussing because like it's personal between me and somebody else or something, or something somebody else didn't want me to discuss or something. I have issues like that, but I've lost people I've considered brothers and friends because of doing stuff, and I think that plays into a part of like me being like still being afraid to lose people, to lose even my closest friends. Even though most of my friends that I have now, most of my closest friends I've been friends with for half my life at this point, it's still like And there's a couple of them that I know I will never lose as friends, and then I have my family that I know is always there. But even still with them, I was like sometimes I feel like I annoy them with my issues and stuff, and I don't know. But and even though like I know I don't, it's two halves to it. It's like I said, I'm worried about being boring with people. It's like I know that like with the friend I hung out with yesterday, I'm worried that they're gonna come bored with me and not want to hang out as much anymore or whatever. And I know that's not the fact, but it's also my anxiety tells. It's like my rational thought and my anxiety thought are separate, so it's like these two separate things going on. It's like even though I know it's not it's not that way. My anxiety kind of tells me that it's that way. I forgot where I was going. I was talking about, but it's like, so I feel. I don't know. It's like I know I'm not gonna lose. Like there's people I won't lose as friends. I know I'm not a burden to these people, but it's stuff that I still worry about, and it actually helps talking about this stuff. It's helping me put pieces together. But that's part of the reason I want to bring other people on here and talk to them, and it'll help bring things out from me, or I can help bring things out from them and help them. And obviously everybody experiences different things, so it could be something more like what you're going through than what I'm going through, because maybe what I'm going through isn't exactly like nothing's going to be exactly what you're going through, because everybody's anxiety and depression and stuff is different, but it could be more somebody else's situation could be more like than mine is to yours. I worded that weirdly, but yeah, so like it's just so, and then it's like harder for me to make new friends because of the same situations. It's like, and then I worry about the fact that I annoy people and stuff, and I know I get annoying sometimes, especially when I drink, because my kind of depression really comes out when I'm drinking. And my loneliness is a big issue for me, and that comes out a lot, and it's like, and the issues with always like not being able to read if somebody likes me really affects the fact that of not having a relationship. I feel like that plays a big part in the fact that I've never had a relationship and never been on dates and stuff, is the fact that I can't ever tell if somebody likes me. And it's like I don't think I will ever be able to ask somebody out without like them telling me that they like me, which kind of sucks. But it's like I don't want to ruin a situation where it's, if I'm good friends with somebody or I'm friends with somebody, I don't want to make things weird. Or I'm also, rejection's a big issue for me because of things. I think it stems from a lot of things from my past, like my dad leaving and stuff, and just so I have rejection issues really badly as well. So I think that plays a part into it, and that's where a lot of my depression comes from and my loneliness comes from, because I've never really had that. It's something I've always really wanted, and I don't know where that comes from, but I've always wanted that to get married and have kids, and everything has always been very important to me. Even when I was really like in middle school and everything, it was important to me, which is typically something that doesn't become very important until you're older. But for me, it's always been important, so it's something that really affects me. And I know I've talked about it on the channel a few times, but it affects my depression and stuff. But I think my anxiety, it's like those things kind of tumble and cause issues with each other. I have no idea how I got here, because this is not what I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to talk about the anxiety that I was having the other day and kind of how that was affecting me and stuff. And I had a lot that I wanted to say about it, but I kind of haven't I kind of forgot a lot of it, and I haven't really, I hate that I keep looking all over the place. But I haven't really, I kind of forgot a lot that I wanted to say, and I haven't really touched as much as I wanted to say on it. But it's like, I don't know. I wanted to talk about how important it is to have somebody that really helps with your anxiety and stuff. Because for a long time, when I was in the military, there was a point where I didn't have any friends in the area. At one point, so I was like going home and spending time. And it's not that I didn't think anybody was friends. It's like I legitimately, because I had a friend that I messed stuff up with, and it kind of, he was closer with all the people we hung out with, so they kind of all, I kind of not stopped spending time with anybody. Luckily, my roommate, she would get me to go out and do stuff, but we didn't really, she would get me to go things, but we weren't really, we're probably friends, but we weren't really like close or anything, so it wasn't. But she was good enough that she realized something was going on, and she got me to go out a lot. But it's like, and then there was a time where I was completely living by myself, and I was going through stuff. Plus, I was a bad roommate, so it was like, but there was a time where I was living by myself and going through stuff, and I didn't really have any friends there, and things became very hard. My anxiety just kept getting worse. My depression, well, it's still up and down. My depression's just up and down. But the anxiety just kept getting worse because I had my cat, but it's like I didn't have anybody that just made my anxiety go. I didn't have any situations that was like I could do this with somebody, and my like just hanging out with somebody and going on a walk or something where my anxiety, I just forget about my anxiety. I don't think about it. Going out to dinner or something is like, having that is very important. Having the reprieve from anxiety is something that helps a lot, because if not, the anxiety is just going to keep tumbling and building up from each other. And it's just crazy how you can be, it's just crazy how it can go from having a panic attack to like not even feeling the anxiety so quickly just because of somebody, just because of somebody being there. Or not even, I wasn't even having to discuss my anxiety or anything. It was just this, like, my anxiety just kind of went away. And a lot of times it's like I need alcohol or something to work on with the anxiety or something, and it's like that's so much better when it's just a person or an animal or a place to go that your anxiety just kind of disappears. And it's good to have that thing, that something, that person. It's really good for it to be a person, but to also have a place and everything, because a person can't always be there for you. But it's just crazy how, and it's crazy how it can be, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I don't know, but it's always good to have something there like that for your anxiety. So it'll be good to have that. And if you don't have that person, if you trying to find that person, you can reach out to me, and maybe I'm not. What I was trying to say before, where I said I didn't know, was like it has to be like the right person that you just click with. That it just, like, you can have best friends, but those people don't make your anxiety go away. But you can find that person you just click with, and something about that person makes it go away. And I might not be that person for you, but I'd like to help create a community where we can where we can grow and people can meet each other, and you can always have somebody. But I would still like to be that person. Well, I would be that person. You could reach out to me if you need somebody to talk to. My Twitter's down below. I won't get on Discord as much as I'd like. I want the Discord to grow a little bit, but right now it's just nobody's on there, so I don't get on there because nobody's on there. Maybe if it grows and people do start getting on there, or maybe once the channel grows, I can push it more, and maybe I'll start being on there more when the channel's growing. But I want to create spaces for people to have people to talk to and everything. But you can talk to me on Twitter. You can leave a comment in the comment section, because I'm always open to talk about anxiety, depression, anything. Even if what I'm going through is not what you're going through, and I could say I probably don't know what to say. I don't say the normal things people say, because I don't like oh, it's just gonna be okay. Oh, people love you. It's like, yes, I know they do, but it's like, my anxiety and depression and stuff, all my mental illnesses tell me these things. It's not my rational mind saying, oh, nobody loves me. I know people love me, but there's parts of my brain that tell me that nobody loves me. So like those words so it's more of, I would be there. And I think a big thing that I do that it kind of bothers me that I do it, but I feel like it's probably the best way to handle the situation is when somebody tells me their issues, I like to discuss mine. And I feel like maybe somebody reads that as being selfish, or that I just want to talk about myself. But for me, because it helps me, it might not help that person. But for me, it does help, because knowing somebody else kind of can identify with what I'm going through or can understand really helps. Because, like I said, those words of, oh, it's going to be okay, and, oh, I love you, I'm there for you. Those words don't mean anything, because it's not a rational thought. It's like a feeling in your head. It's not that I don't know these things, but knowing somebody's there, knowing somebody truly understands and can feel what I'm going through, and that helps a lot. So I discuss I will mention what I'm going through and what I feel as well, because I want the person to understand, like, they're not alone, and I understand, because it's the most you can really do, because none of the other words are really gonna help, and I don't want to just sit there and be quiet and be like, yeah, I understand. I want them to know that I understand, so I talk about my own, and that's why this channel's here. Ice cream truck. It's March. I mean, it is like 80 degrees outside, but so, um, yeah, I want to create this to be a space where, you, I want people to see that I'm going through things and make me feel like they're not alone or whatever. I say that in like every freaking video I make, but yeah. So I think, and it bothers me when I do that sometimes though, when people are talking about what they're going through, because I keep seeing a hair in my eye and it's bothering me. But I hate saying but yeah. But what when I do that, when I talk about what I'm going through, I'm kind of feel like, oh, I'm being selfish, or I'm only talking about myself, and this person think I'm just talking about myself, which I do feel like I talk about myself too much, but that's because I'm really bad at conversation, but I do know myself, so I can talk about myself. So that's why I talk about myself a lot in conversations, because that's what I know, and I know it probably gets annoying to people, and I notice that I do it and it bothers me. It actually probably doesn't bother anybody. It's just, it bothers me that I do it, because I feel like other people are going to be bothered by it. Yeah, I have chicken cooking, so I need to wrap this up soon. This actually went a lot longer than I expected it to, which is good. This is about this is how I want it to go. It's like, I want to eventually extend them out to be longer, but I don't want to force them to be longer. But yeah, so it's like, that's why I discuss what I'm going through and whatever. I actually have no idea how I got here and why I was talking about that. So I'm probably gonna wrap this up here, but I don't want to go on too long. I'm sure nobody's gonna make it to this point in the video, but hopefully some people do, and hopefully this can help some people. If you have any topics you want me to like talk about, like when it comes to anxiety or depression or certain aspects of it, of what I go through, or what if you want to ask about what you're going through, maybe I can help a little bit. I'm slightly educated on it, but I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist, and I'm not trying to replace a doctor or therapist. But I might be able to help a little bit. So leave your comments down below. If you ever want to be a guest, please let me know on Twitter or comment section at this point. It's not a big deal. I don't have a big channel, so it's not going to be a lot of people just, oh, I want to come on, I want to come on. I do have some people who said they will come on. I want to try to get more people on. Even if they don't want to, if you don't want to be on camera, that's fine. If you just want to send me questions or send me text to talk about, I can discuss it. Because I can understand how bad the anxiety is with this. Trust me, my anxiety, I've been doing this for almost a year. My anxiety still gets through the roof every time I turn the camera on. Because as I said, I care about what everybody thinks about me. So every time I talk, it's like, and then especially when it comes to the channel, it's like, I need the channel to grow. So it's like, all these things was like buttons and my energy and all this stuff can affect what, like, make my channel not grow and make people not want to sub, and or make people hate me, and like, and that, I don't want that, because I want everybody to like me. But like the fact that I keep saying but, yeah, I think this was a good episode. I think this was a much better than the first and more linear. That's kind of how I wanted to go, though. I didn't discuss everything I wanted to talk about, but it kind of, everything just came out and rolled out, and that's how I wanted to go. I want a good flow of everything, so that y'all can tell is real, and it's not just me making stuff up trying to help people or whatever it is. But that it's real, it's how I feel, and you can see that it's more genuine, and maybe that'll mean more, maybe that'll help more. Because for me, seeing people watching YouTube and seeing people genuinely, like, as they're going through it, like, seeing them go through it, is what helped me really feel like, hey, I'm not alone. There are people out there going through the same things as me, is like, which made me feel a little more comfortable with it, I guess. Maybe it helps a little bit. I know these people are going through the same things, and they can understand me. So it's like, oh, these people aren't going to judge me but based off of this, because they understand what I'm going through, because they're going through the same thing. I think that's the big part of it. But yeah, I don't even remember what I was saying to get here. My short-term memory gets bad sometimes. Um, I guess I'll just wrap it up here then. Please come back next Friday. Every Friday, Friday Feels. I want to build it into like a podcast type thing. Um, I want to eventually get to streaming, but sometimes I might just discuss the same things over and over again. But um, that's just what's going to happen because it's a genuine flow. I'm just going to say what comes to mind at the time that I'm talking. It's just like going to, not the same, but it's like if I was in therapy and talking, it's going to be this. I'm going to be talking about the same things a lot because that's just what's on my mind. And when you're talking to somebody about it, you just kind of let stuff flow out, and that's how you get things out. So it's probably going to be a lot of the same stuff over and over again, maybe worded differently, which might help somebody better understand because the wording's different or something. It's helping me at least too. So check out the link to the charity down below. All my other links are down there. Please come back for the episode next week. Hopefully these episodes keep getting better. I'm gonna do things, change things up, and try to figure out exactly how I want this to go. Next Friday will be the last one in this room. I will be moved, and I'm having bad anxiety about moving. Because I'm not good with change at all, and this is the longest I've lived in a place since my childhood home, I think. Yeah. But, so yeah, I'm having kind of anxiety about it. It's my first time moving without my cat since I was a kid, so I know it's going to be a little harder adjusting to the situation, but y'all will be there for me. I hope everybody made it through the episode. I hope this helps somebody, and I love you. I keep rambling on, so I'm at the end of the year. I love you all. Hope to see you back here next time.